So here's this week's animated DVDs, but before we take care of that, let's cover a couple more things. I got Interstellar on DVD. I was looking for it on Blu-ray DVD, but Target's changing their store layout. And the other thing is related to Magic the Gathering. I got the two pre-constructed commander decks related to these two, Freyalise Wars Fury and Daretti Scrap Savant. Basically, I still haven't constructed a commander deck, always wanted to, and since I've been wanting to for a number of months now and haven't even made any progress, I figured pre-constructed deck is better than nothing, and apparently they're pretty good decks. I haven't actually used them yet, but they seem pretty good. The idea is I want to have a feeling for what the commander game actually feels like before I design one, especially since I'm not going to be playing against anybody anytime soon. So eventually I'm pretty sure I'll construct my own, but for now I'm pretty much sticking to nothing else in here. Okay, but for now I'm pretty much sticking to the pre-constructed deck because it's a place to start, and if I start playing some commander games, then I'll probably have more opportunity to think about what I actually want, what actually works. Alternatively, if I only play commander games every once in a while, then well, I can play every once in a while. Go. So, first of all, obviously the first package was an NIS package. Let's see. Or sorry, a TRSI package. I'm looking for the receipts. Oh, there they are. I see them. They are in the box, and I just forgot to take them out. Oh well. Before we start with these, let's begin with this, which actually arrived earlier this week. This is Free Season 1, English subtitled edition, i.e. Season 2, I think, has been grabbed by Funimation or something and will be subtitled. This is Season 1. Sorry, Funimation's will be dubbed. So you can see it's just the 2 discs. Although it feels heavier than that. I'm guessing some of that must be related to, I don't know, just extra plastic. I don't even remember what all I got this week, so I'm really curious what that is, but we'll find out as we go down. Next we've got Nisekoi Volume 4. I don't remember if this finishes or not. The first season, that is, because there's another one airing now, or that aired very recently, and apparently I do not have any fingernail on my thumb anymore. Oh well, let's dig into this ASAP. So for starters, we've got the case itself, back obviously being different, character on the inside who looks really weird from an angle. Being an NISA release, I'm pretty sure this is region A only. I'm looking on the back here and I'm not noticing it right away, and the Blu-ray, I'm not seeing it, so I don't know. So this one comes with a poster, which is pretty common for Aniplex releases. Single-sided, which is a little less common, but not unheard of by any means. That's a bit risque. Almost reminds me of World Conquest. Let's open it up and take a look at all of them. bunch of postcards. No thoughts on them because I'm not caught up on this series yet. Actually, I'm not caught up for more than one reason. I mean, I haven't watched Volume 3 yet. That has migrated over to my... I better watch this sometime in the near future because I bet Volume 3 is coming out soon. And hey, or Volume 4 is coming out soon. And hey, look, Volume 4 came out today. Let's see. Of course, we got the proof of purchase and the questionnaire. Standard. Nisekoi card game. Advertisement for Sword Art Online 2 trading card game, April 10th, 2015. Not to be confused with the Blu-ray release, which comes out, well, I guess the Blu-ray DVD Part 1 release, which comes out later. Next, we've got Magi, the Kingdom of Magic Set 2, which I'm going to guess completes the second season. I don't recall if there was any more to this. I could have too, because like I mentioned last week, I was finally catching up on all my DVD rips. So I had the backups on my DVD server, and I was putting the data on my streaming server, and Magi, brain's not working too well right now. I put the rest of this on the server, so this one shouldn't be far behind. So on the back we do have a couple people, and then we've got stuff on the inside. First of all, we've got the standard proof of purchase questionnaire, which I want locked in there. We've got a pencil board. Don't remember whether or not there was one before. And then we have poster. So if that doesn't finish off Magi, then that at least gives us something good. Let's see. We've got 2 Sentai releases here, so I think this Super Sonico the Animation. See, the C and the O are, I guess, combined there. Looking at this, Region A, English dubs. Interesting. Don't know what the series is about, though. Jessica Nigri. Nigri? I don't know. I'm not well informed enough to recognize names per se. So I have absolutely no idea who she is. But, oh well. It doesn't matter. If y'all do, then it's advantageous for y'all to have seen it, or if she's got a bad reputation of some sort, then maybe that wouldn't be a good thing, but whatever. As usual, Sentai's releases are having the security tab on, which is making opening them up a lot harder. As you can see, this DVD just melted open. So here in the DVD version, we have this 1, 2, and 3. And of course, the DVD versions make sense to open because the Blu-ray versions usually have 2 discards, or some shared discards. But this doesn't appear to be the case this time, because there we have the disc 1s are the same, but disc 2, while it's yellow and features that same artwork, it also features her artwork on there as well. An interesting mix-up. Next up, we've got Student Council's Discretion LV2, which is technically Season 2. Let's see. Blu-ray Region A, subtitled only. all to be expected. Once again, security tab is closed, so I'm going in from the side here, trying to just get in between the tab and the rest of the case. There we go. To get it started, because once it's started, then it tends to go a bit faster. Didn't even need any fingernails for this one. 2 discs, which generally means that the Blu-ray version is only 1 disc. And if we take a peek, it is 1 disc. As you can see, the artwork for it is similarly a combination of the individual character arts used for discs 1 and 2 of the DVD version. And now, let's see, what in the world is this? Oh, this is Than Black Blu-ray. Premium edition, it says. So, this is a... I see, this is supposed to look like a secret agent briefing-ish sort of thing, or maybe secret agent isn't quite the right word, but whatever our main character is supposed to be. And this is good because I think there's been that Japanese Blu-ray release of this out for a long time. That's one of the few things out there where I haven't jumped on it, but I think that's because I pretty much confirmed that was Japanese only, not even English subtitles, so I didn't see a lot of appeal to getting it, not knowing the Japanese language myself. So I just opened that the way I've always seen these sorts of things opened. In movies, that is. I need a more stable surface. There we go. Now, okay, I'm not feeling anything else in there. So then here we've got, oh, I see. So this, I think you're supposed to bend it like this, and then with this we can stand it up on it like that or something. Some nice artwork in here. It's too bad the base of the camera is a little in the way, preventing me from showing it too clearly, but it's okay. Then in here, looks like 3 discs. Kind of hard to see on there. I do see the 003 indicating that's the 3rd disc. I can see something there, yeah. Region A. Oh, there we go. Blu-ray. So I don't know what to make of this set, but postcards. Postcards. It's assembled kind of haphazardly, which again is strange. I can't help but think that these should be in there more like that, but does this mean the packaging is generally not good? Is this an actual release? It seems actual. It says Funimation down here. Can I put them in sideways like this? It's very tricky to work with. See, we got information there. We've got an image on the back. So, hard to tell what to think about this. I'll have to fire it up to see if it's all good. I think it's an interesting presentation if this is intentional. But I do miss my plastic cases. And all of this is so tight, it's tricky to fit anything in anywhere. There we go, one at a time. Let's see. I think if we... Come on, any of them will do. So again, I'm taking a guess that this itself, as a whole, is supposed to be on this stand, like so. So I'll probably be able to display it up on the top of my bookshelf. Alright then, so that's this week's anime DVD collection update. Not too bad, an interesting variety of stuff. So I'm honestly not sure where all the time went this past week, especially since I had a 3-day weekend. I mean, I kind of expected to watch more than the paltry amount of anime that I did. So I don't know. First off, I watched Road to Ninja Naruto the movie. This would be the 6th Naruto Shippuden movie, I think. And in my opinion, it is by far the best. It hits... I mean, this is something my friend and I have noticed watching the Naruto Shippuden movies, how they tend to thematically reach into concept within the Naruto series main. I think the first of it would be when they started talking about, was it their way of the ninja, or I don't know. One of the movies they started using terminology that then all of a sudden appeared in the series. Some have been thematically, okay, this is related to concepts within the main story itself, and this one is the closest and by far the best to some of the best parts of Naruto, in my opinion, which is, I guess I don't want to talk about it too much, but it began in a way where it was hard to tell if it was being okay or not, but then it started hitting on said elements, and it just really sunk in, and it was nice. I could actually probably fire this up and watch it again if I wanted to. Probably the only reason I'm not is there's a lot of other stuff to do and to watch. Now, timing-wise, we're a little late watching this. Usually I try to find out between which episodes a movie aired in theaters in Japan, and I try and watch that pretty close to that. And I think this time we were pretty far off, because at the end of the previous Naruto Shippuden DVD we watched, not this and not the last series one, but the one before the last series one that we watched, basically I think there was only one episode before we watched this, and I like to play it safe and watch that one episode at least, simply because you never know if they're going to reveal something in the series that then is going to be revealed in the movie. With Shonen series in particular, that's important, because you can get spoiled when somebody learns a new power that you might not have wanted to know until during the series when it showed them having said power. And that meant that the DVD set we watched before this one, we watched the one episode to catch up to this, and then we watched, 11, 12 episodes after that? So we got a good distance ahead of this one. In terms of when the episodes aired, that would probably be a couple of months. And I mentioned that because one thing that struck me as kind of odd, a couple of in that DVD set, was it threw Sakura's parents at us as if we had seen them before, and I couldn't quite remember if we had. So I didn't think much about it at the time, but it looks like this movie is when we get to see them for the first time, I think.
unless I'm mistaken, and that's not particularly spoilerific if that sounds spoilerific. It's more like sometimes series just don't have a reason to show you characters. I mean, if you go back to like Dragon Ball Z, I don't think they ever showed us Goku's mom, for example, who was obviously another Saiyan because Goku was Saiyan, blah 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 blah. But we did get the episode where we saw Bardock, and before then, Bardock didn't even exist as canonically presented to us concept. So basically, it's kind of like that, where they introduce the characters when it's convenient for them to, story-wise, introduce characters related to some overarching theme. And I don't want to say too much more about this movie, but I do want to say, once again, all of this really came together. I'm glad to have watched it. So, the only other thing I watched was the second season of Freezing. And I have to say that it wasn't a good experience, but that isn't because the anime was necessarily bad. First of all, watching it, I realized the only thing I could remember from the first series was one of the OVA episodes, just a one-off, means nothing episode. And so I kind of forgot a lot of the context of their universe, and I do kind of regret not having rewatched the first season, but I had already started, and I went with it just to see what else I would remember. Some of the terminology sounded familiar, but if I had been quizzed about it, I would not have been able to come up with it. And the other thing about this that I didn't like is it was kind of stressful to watch. And in this regard, when I say stressful, I kind of mean I wanted to be able to reach in and just strangle the daylight out of the bad guys, because the series is like 75% things you hate people for, and to me that it was just a little too strong in that regard. For the other 25%, I don't know. I mean, it seemed pretty good to me. It's just that I don't think that's the entire reason why I didn't watch a whole lot of stuff. Just because, because of breaks from that. I mean, it must have been everything else. I guess I should probably talk about that after the jump. So, by other stuff, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff, because obviously this pile of DVDs is pretty much completely gone. There are a couple more things there to think about and process, but those are weird edge cases. In particular, they're Blu-ray documentaries and a Blu-ray series, and I have to decide how I want to integrate those into my current system, because I don't want to really rip them and put them on the Not Anime server, even though technically by Not Anime you'd think that they belong on there. But I guess I just don't know if I want to do that, because the Blu-rays, they take up a lot of space. And I might try and get DVD versions of them, something. It requires processing of a completely different kind than what I did. I did completely catch up on putting everything on my non-anime and anime service. Of course, now I've fallen behind again because it's Tuesday, and that means more anime. But I also put the data for a lot of stuff on my private streaming server so that I could rewatch a whole lot of stuff. I had a big, long list of things to do, and that, of course, may have been the most distracting aspect of this past week, and maybe it's why I didn't get a whole lot of watching done. That, and I was making good progress on Monster Hunter. By good progress, I guess I really mean I had reached a point a week ago, I think, where I was trying to recover items, reacquire items, make sure my stocks are pretty good so that I'm not in danger of running low on something if I have to play multiplayer or something like that. And a lot of that all involved needing to find repetitive quests and whatnot, and I've pretty much just did the Najaralathon Huntathon. Until I reached a point where I had over 1 million in-game currency, and then I switched over to Ancient Shard Gathering, which is slow and yet each round is quick. So that's just a bunch of stuff. It means that Monster Hunter was there, that ripping and encoding and processing of DVDs was there. One of the important things I did was I also figured out why my Game of Thrones DVD, why I was having trouble getting that to encode. In particular, the trouble I was having involved getting subtitles to work right. And if you watched Game of Thrones, then you could probably think of a subtitle-heavy scene that is quite spectacular and is one that you would definitely want to go and rewatch. And that's been a high priority thing for me to figure out. It turns out it was actually simple. If you choose the English subtitles, then you tell Handbrake to encode only subtitles with the forced flag on them, then that's how you get the end result that you want to get. Today I also learned, then I also learned that MPEG 4 files can have subtitle streams. I had previously thought that it was primarily designed for mostly web streaming, so it wouldn't have a subtitle track, but when I told Handbrake to deal with a closed captioning track to see if that was the answer, suddenly I had a subtitle track, which quite surprised me because I did not think DVD supported that. Oh well, anyways, that's all complicated. Let's see. Yeah, I still don't know why, even given all of that, why I only watched one movie in one series. I didn't even watch any Star Trek: The Next Generation. I stopped after at the end of season 2 because I want to give anime some more chance, and I guess Nisekoi is probably going to be next on the list. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'm trailing off, so it's probably a good idea for me to end the update here. Y'all have a nice week and a dry week, considering how much rain we've got here in Texas. But yeah, have a nice week.